Republicans appear poised to potentially capture defeat from the jaws of near certain majority in the United States Senate. President Biden's approval ratings remain near freezing levels. Inflation is red hot. But rather than sit back, relax, nominate traditional, boring Republicans for the Senate, they are going back to the crazy well. Kathy Barnett might win Tuesday's Pennsylvania Senate primary against Dr. Oz and David McCormick. Among her tweets that could cause just a little bit of problem in the general election, Obama is a Muslim doing Muslim-like things. Here's Sean Hannity. Even he's worried.
More resurfaced tweets are even more disturbing. There are serious, real, open questions about the surging Kathy Barnett campaign.
Barnett joins a long list of Republican problem children on fire in the primaries base loves who explode before November.
I'm not a witch. I'm nothing you've heard. I'm you.
Do you believe that being gay is a choice?
I do. I think that birth has an influence over, like alcoholism and some other things, but I think that basically you have a choice.
If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
Yeah, they all lost. Ken Buck, Todd Akin, Christine O'Donnell, all doomed Republicans' hopes for the majority. And just in time for 2022, here's Kathy Barnett, Eric Greitens of Missouri, Herschel Walker of Georgia. Republican donors are worried, especially about Barnett, as is President Trump. He just put out a statement. GOP financier, real estate developer Dan Palmer with us. Now, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme, right?
Wow, what a highlight reel, Leland. Good to see you, by the way.
Yeah, no, I guess this is the question, though. Is there real fear now among Republicans that this is not going to go the way they wanted come November?
You know, it really depends on what the election's about. If the election is about the current administration's bad policy choices, you know, then it's one thing. If it's about the personalities of either Donald Trump or some outlier candidates, it could be problematic here and there. But whether you're, you know, at the kitchen table worried about the availability of baby formula, going to the gas pump and paying record prices, going to the grocery store for empty shelves and high prices, or you're worried about drugs flowing across the border and showing up with the homeless population, you know, in your neighborhood, raising the issues of crime and public safety, or schools that have been closed or remote learning with a wink. And now we have, you know, international
look, you don't get any argument from me that if it's on the issues. How do Republican donors
facts and track record?
How do Republican donors, though, keep spending tens of millions of dollars on Senate races, and then all of a sudden you get these wackadoodle people who come in and hijack them and screw things up?
You know, this actually has something to do with the way campaigns are waged. So there was a time 10, 20, 30 years ago when campaigns were about persuasion. A lot of money was spent trying to talk to people who might, you know, change their mind. Now it's about base turnout, and social media is a very cost-effective way. You don't need lots of money to put a base message out and contact your identified voters and turn them out. So this is really a function of the way campaign messages are communicated as much as it is, you know, about the preferences of donors. Donors, as you know, are more risk averse, and they're tending to go for more establishment candidates. But, you know, there's a very significant, very upset base that preceded Trump, but got behind Trump. And, you know, it's a reflection of the deep-rooted problems in our society, which Washington doesn't seem to want to talk about.
Yeah, well, Washington's never interested in solving the real problems, and once people get there, they rarely do. Kathy Barnett will never be able to win the general election against the radical left Democrats. She has many things in her past which have not been properly explained or vetted. So says a man who might know, former President Donald Trump. But I get to this point for Republicans going forward. What do big donors do? What is happening right now behind the scenes to try and hold on to the potential for a majority?
Well, obviously, people have, you know, contributed their money in the races where they think, you know, money might make a difference. But at the end of the day, a lot of the big money really comes in after the primary, and you have a hit list of races that are winnable. You know, Adam Laxalt in Nevada stands a very good chance in that state. And, you know, to change the direction of the country, you just need to have a net pickup of one in the Senate. So, you know, there's a number of races around the country where Republicans are in very good shape. You don't have to win them all. You have to have a net pickup of 1 to take the gavel out of Chuck Schumer's hands and to stop the crazy in D.C. So I think, that's a very achievable objective.
I got about 15 seconds left. The ultra MAGA push by President Biden, has that started to resurge what you tapped into, say, back during Hillary Clinton's deplorables moment? The Republican enthusiasm?
It's the same insult.
Yeah.
It's the same insult. And it's really, it's a shame. This guy came in saying he wanted to be unifier, he wanted to be a moderate. He's pulled to the left. He's basically a collectivist, whether you want to call that a progressive or, worse. It's not the right policy prescription for the country. I think everyone's seen after 16 months where the policies take us, and nobody's happy.
And if, as you point out, whether it's about issues or about people, we'll decide this. Dan, good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Leland.
All right. Why taking billions from the Chinese okay when taking millions from the Saudis lands you in the media doghouse? See you in a minute. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.